Americans are angry. We're addicted to grievance with and without cause. And that's bad for incumbents. And it makes our next guest, the redoubtable Matt Taibbi, independent journalist, say he sees a rinse and repeat of 2016 Racket news on Substack. Matt Taibbi, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris.
So you believe that the Democrat message of these righties are crazy, things are great, people are loving life, is a recipe for 2016 redux. How so?
I just think some of the campaign stories that we're seeing now remind me a lot of especially the early coverage in 2016, a campaign that I covered. If you remember, actually, there was a long list of stories saying that Donald Trump would not win the nomination at a time when he was overwhelmingly the polling favorite. You had a piece in the New York Times saying he had just about no shot of winning. The New York Times said he's going to lose because he's crazy. 538.com said he would play in the NBA before he'd be the nominee.
Yep.
And there was this kind of collective denial that kind of set in among the press corps. And I think some of it was just rooted in the fact that a lot of people in the news media didn't know anybody who voted for Donald Trump. So they didn't believe it was actually going to happen. It seems to me that some of the same stuff is going on right now. There's just an incredible amount of dissatisfaction out there, and people aren't really paying attention to it.
I won a lot of $1 wagers on what the outcome of the 2016 election would be. But right now, is the analysis as solid because he is a known quantity? And what does it say about the state of grievance in this country with independent voters, because they'll make the difference, that Donald Trump, for all he has been weighed and measured and found lacking with all this unprecedented drama surrounding him, that doesn't matter?
Well, again, I think this is very similar to 2016. If you interviewed people at Trump events, they would tell you outright, I don't particularly like the guy. I don't really trust him in many cases, they would say. But I'm casting this vote because I'm so mad and I refuse to give it to an establishment politician. I refuse to give it to any politician. And I think what's happening now is there's an assumption that if he's tried and convicted, that this means he'll somehow go away. For some voters, that's probably going to be a plus if the more convictions that he racks up. And add to that the considerably high amount of people who are supporting candidates like Cornel West and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., you see the enormous amount of dissatisfaction towards establishment candidates that's out there right now. Whatever you think about that, that's a fact.
So then the question becomes what we see as being the battleground. What is the main? Do you think it's Israel? Do you think it's the economy? Do you think that it is raw perceptions of strength and weakness? What do you think the state of play is that determines it?
I think these issues go back a long way. I mean, for me, I've been covering presidential campaigns for a long time, and I started to see this kind of burn it down nihilistic attitude dating back all the way to 2008. There were a lot of people who came out on the short end of things after the crash in 2008, who were very, very frustrated about certain people getting bailed out while they weren't. There's anger about the wars in the Middle East. There's anger about WMDs. There's anger about the Russiagate story on the right. I think it's a sort of generalized dissatisfaction with leadership in general, and you see this all over the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's bet our next meal on Biden. Yes or no? Is he the nominee?
Wow, that's a tough bet. I mean, I feel like they would have to make a move very soon if they were going to do it, but there's been no indication that they're going to do that.
I said yes or no.
I'm going to say no.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.